I'm Naoto, age 23. After college, I work at my girlfriend's grandfather's cafe. Can we go out today after work?
Yeah, sure.
You two don't mess around during working hours!
Yes, sir.
I'm dating Yuko, and I have an amazing life inside and outside of work. But when those two arrived, that changed dramatically. Welcome! Ew, what is this place?
It's so broken down. How funny.
How could someone drink coffee from here?
The customers look so stupid, too.
This place is likely for losers.
You're so funny.
Excuse me, could you not be so rude to the other customers?
Huh? Are you talking back to your customer?
Hey, customers are gods, you know. And besides, you're so dull.
I know, right? How pathetic.
I'm not the type to talk back strongly, but...
And that girl over there is a loser, too.
Hey, don't talk down on my girlfriend! Did you hear that? Girlfriend?
Oh, they're both losers. They look great together.
I can't go out with her even if I got $1 billion. Hey, could you please stop? Hey, don't talk back to me just because you're in front of your girlfriend.
Just forget about him and go.
Yeah. Hey, check please. Here's your check, sir. That'll be 1,200 yen. Look here, e-payment. E-payment?
You're so old. Did your time stop 100 years ago?
Move back time, right? Do that thing. Huh? God, you're so slow. Here, pick it up yourself.
You're so funny.
The staff are all losers, and they can't even use e-payment right. The two left like a hurricane. Sorry, if only I could talk back to them more.
It's not your fault. Thank you for talking for me.
Yeah, thank you for trying your best. From the next day forward, the store changed.
I wonder why there aren't a lot of customers today.
Yeah, strange.
Owner, has this happened before?
No, never.
What is this?
I wonder why. The customers all disappeared. There were even days where we had 0 customers. I then checked my SNS and was shocked. Huh? What's this on SNS?
What is this?
This is definitely from those two, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
The two that came in talked horribly about the cafe online, and it spread with over 100,000 retweets!
I went to MoniRobo Cafe to have a coffee, but a loser staff gave me the coffee with hair and cockroach legs, and I felt sick afterwards. That place is horrible. Don't go if you want to spare your life. 100,000 retweets? No way.
This is the reason we don't have any customers. And this is all a lie! Except for the fact that I'm a loser. I asked them to delete the post online, but they ignored me. We couldn't do anything about it, and time just passed by us. We had 0 customers today, too. You two can leave for today. But you two go on a date or something.
Yeah, we should go.
Yeah, okay.
All right, we'll leave. We need to do something about this.
Yuko? Yuko!
Huh?
You seem like you're inside your head.
Oh, sorry. What were we talking about?
How about we go on a date tomorrow, too?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I actually have something important to talk about, and I have an expensive restaurant reserved.
Is your budget okay?
Of course, don't worry about it. The next day...
This is a great place, and the food is wonderful, too.
Thank God.
And what did you want to talk about?
I was thinking I wanted to protect you in that cafe forever, and, so...
Wait, really? Huh? Those are the people from the cafe, right?
Where? Oh, you're right! Why are people like you eating here? None of your business! But it is. I'm the owner here. Huh? Owner? I don't want people like you being here.
Could you please leave? Why?
Yeah, we reserved our seats here and... She told you to leave. What? I sat there, not knowing what had happened to me.
So funny.
Your check will be 200,000 yen. What did you do? For the wine and for cleaning, and alimony for ruining the atmosphere of this restaurant. What are you talking about? That's unfair! But if I call the police now, they'll believe us. Do you know why? Because all the staff are going to talk for me. No way!
We'll forgive you if you apologize to us now.
Why do I need to do that?
Do you want us to call the police?
I'm sorry.
What? Is that all? Get down on the floor. You can do it, right?
If you can't, then you and your girlfriend will be arrested. Can't get Yuko involved in this.
Look, he actually did it. He's such a loser.
You told him to, though. Yuko! Oh, look, she ran away.
Of course she would. Who would want their boyfriend to be like that?
After that, Yuko never came to the cafe. I tried contacting her, but she never replied once. I guess we're all over then. I guess because she saw me do that. But what was I supposed to do? Are you alright? I'm not sure anymore. Well, when you're young, you experience a lot of things. But you still like Yuko, right? Like her? I love her! I'm her grandpa, and to think you'd say that to me. But I think we're all over. What happened? Well, this and that. When I told him what happened, and right when I was able to clear my mind, Yuko? Come to the restaurant again? Is she really going to end things with me? Leave the store to me. Okay. When I came to the restaurant...
Naoto, sorry I couldn't contact you.
No, I'm sorry too. And what's happening right now?
Sorry, could you give me a second?
Yeah, sure.
You two! How could you embarrass my boyfriend like that?
What? This isn't the Yuko I know. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were the heir to the MoniRobo Empire. MoniRobo Empire? One of the two big business empires of Japan? But you're staff in a cafe.
Sorry, but that's the truth.
Turns out Yuko was the daughter to the CEO of the MoniRobo Empire, one of the two biggest business empires controlling Japan, but she wanted to experience working normally, and so she worked in that cafe. Turns out the restaurant that this man owned was part of the MoniRobo Empire.
And how did it feel to embarrass someone's boyfriend?
Well, I really didn't know anything.
Shut up! You didn't know anything? And so anyone can do anything if they don't know, huh? You're getting what you deserve after making fun of my boyfriend.
Please!
What should I do?
Please!
Oh, and the person you threw money at in the cafe? He's the chairman in our company.
What? He's the chairman of the MoniRobo Empire?
Well, I think Grandpa and Father don't know what happened, but I need to tell them everything you did now.
Please, anything but that! Oh, so that's what happened.
Grandpa, you came!
Naoto told me everything that happened today, so I just had to follow him.
Oh, so I didn't need to talk to you then.
I couldn't stand you spreading fake information about my cafe either, but... I'm so sorry. Not only did you embarrass my granddaughter's boyfriend, you also made my granddaughter angry. And that is a heavy price to pay.
You're going to have to pay the price.
I'm so sorry. I'll do anything, so please forgive me.
Anything?
Of course.
You'll go on a ship to fish tuna then?
Is that...
Oh, you'll be paid a lot, though, if you come back alive.
Please, I don't want to die.
Stop it already! I've had enough! My father also knows a friend from the other business empire, Scat Empire. We don't need to apologize to you.
Yeah, you're right.
You can work in my restaurant, honey.
right! I don't need to apologize to them at all!
My father owns the Scat restaurant. Even you guys can't fight back against that. Oh?
I see.
Naoto?
Yeah, about the Scat restaurant. Yeah, they made me go down to the floor. Alright, thanks.
What is this performance? A loser like you can't do anything about the…
You should pick that up.
Hello?
You! What did you do to the CEO's son? He's pissed!
The CEO's son? I don't know who that is.
Don't lie to me! The restaurant has just been closed!
Closed? No way! I don't know the son of… Wait, does that mean…
Yep, I'm the son of the Scat Empire CEO.
What? Huh?
No way! Yep, I didn't tell either of them. The CEO of the Scat Empire, the second business empire of Japan, is my father. And so the two gave up and apologized. As for the restaurant, well, he was fired because it was under the Empire's rule. And they realized that he was stealing the Empire's money, and they went to court, and he had to pay a lot of alimony. And he didn't just lose money in court, he was arrested too, sent to prison for several years. As for the girl, well, she was cut off from the family and her boyfriend was in prison, so she had zero money to her name. But that wasn't it. She was requested alimony for the loss of the cafe because of her fake tweets. Now she's working hard every day just to pay off those alimonies. As for us…
Naoto, could you change her diapers?
No problem. I was able to propose to her again, and we got married. Not just that, we had our first baby last month. There were bad things that happened to us, but we're much happier now than ever before.
My name is Hanayo Setsusu. I'm 28 years old. I've been married to my husband Itetsu for 2 years, and now I have a baby in my belly. I met him through a friend who recommended that someone who was too serious would definitely be a better match for me, as I was born with an unfortunate disposition. My husband is a very serious person, especially when it comes to money management, and he hates wasting money. He is the kind of guy who put half his salary into savings. However, it wasn't as if he was uninteresting. He was kind enough to take care of me when I was nervous. The story progressed quickly and smoothly, and here we are today. Even after we got married, he came straight home every day instead of playing. We were both working, so housework was almost 50-50, and our married life was going well. But this happiness didn't last long. The incident happened around the time I was on maternity leave.
Hey, don't you think we spend a little too much on food?
Huh? Is that so? At the time, our family's food expenses were about 30,000 yen per month. While I was working, we each had our own income, and we split the rent and utilities, and the person who went shopping would pay for food, so I would often pay more. Since I was on maternity leave, we started paying for food out of my husband's earnings, and he was concerned about the amount of money he had to pay. I showed him the receipts I kept for the household account and told him to remember what was usually on the table in the lunches I made for him, but he looked unconvinced. The next day…
I knew 30,000 yen a month was a lot.
I don't think so. I've been paying for more than half of our food expenses so far. Maybe that's why you think it's a lot. It cost 30,000 to 40,000 yen a month before.
That's what's wrong. We're about to have a baby. We can't afford to waste money, can we?
But we do buy a little better food for not eating out. We can have that luxury, right? And I stopped doing my own savings. I've been saving my savings to pay for the birth.
So, it's only natural for the woman to prepare for the birth expenses, right? Because you're the one who's going to be in the hospital and you're the one giving birth.
Huh? That's true, but it's our baby, right? What's wrong with you all of a sudden?
I can't save money if we spend so much on rent, utilities, and food.
That's just something you're going to have to put up with until I go back to work.
No, you just need to be more thrifty.
I was horrified by the change in my husband's attitude, who had always been sensible and kind. Certainly, his expenses have more than doubled since I've been on maternity leave, and our living expenses have been covered by my husband's income. but it's for the child, and it's not like I'm playing around with the money I've earned myself. I don't know what he's complaining about. Then, a short time later, I received another text from my husband, who had called his parents.
I asked my parents. Their food bill is 20,000 yen a month for a family of 4.
So, are you trying to say that our 30,000 yen is too much?
Yeah, that's twice as many people and less than half the amount. By my parents' standards, we should be able to get by on 10,000 yen a month.
Wait, honey, please think straight. Your family is a farmer, so they don't have to buy rice or vegetables, right? When we visited them before, they were exchanging vegetables with other neighbors for the ones they got too much of. So maybe the only things they buy are seasonings and meat.
That's just an excuse. It's my mom's hard work on frugality paying off.
You say your parents live in a house with 4 people. The grandfathers who live with them don't eat that much, do they? In our house, you're a hard worker and I'm a pregnant woman, right? I think we need to be concerned about the quantity, but also about the quality of what we're eating.
That's another excuse. Just buy good stuff at a cheap supermarket.
The cost of living is different too.
Excuses, excuses, excuses. You're a housewife now. If you're gonna ask me for all my money, you should work harder in the house. Am I wrong?
I'm not cutting corners.
30,000 yen per month for food. If this isn't cutting corners, what is? I'll only give you 10,000 yen a month from now on.
Are you serious?
Of course. How can my mother do it and you can't?
But it's a totally different situation.
I don't want to hear excuses. Also, you live in this house, so you still have to pay some rent and utilities. You're pregnant now, so that makes 2 of you.
After my husband returned home, I explained once again how different the situation was between his rural farm family home and our home in the middle of the city, but he was having none of it. In the end, I only received 10,000 yen per month, starting the following month. And of course, that was not enough at all, so I had to cut into my own savings to cover the shortfall. On top of that, he charged me rent and utilities, and my expenses were mounting even though I had no income. But I had to save money for the delivery, and I had to pay for all the hospital visits, and my savings were disappearing fast. And 2 months later, I gave birth to a healthy baby boy. My husband was very happy at first, but
My wife will pay for the expenses.
it was a little sad that he told that to tell the nurse so I could hear him. Then, I went home to my parents and stayed there for a month. No rent and utilities were collected during that time because neither I nor my child were living there. Although I thought that my husband was a tightwad in these areas, I was still depressed about life after returning home. When I returned home a month later, my husband did not increase our food budget.
Babies don't need money because they don't eat yet.
What about money for milk and diapers?
Women are supposed to pay for childcare.
We split the rent and utilities almost 50-50. Why won't he pay for anything else? Moreover, my husband stopped doing any housework because I was home all day. For a while, I was scraping by on baby gifts from my parents and others, but it was obvious that within a few months I would run out of money. Not a day or 2 goes by that I don't cry while holding my child, because I have to worry about money and tap the calculator even though I'm floundering with raising a child. After a few months of this situation, I finally ran out of money and began to cut back on my food expenses. However, my milk supply became proportionately worse. My baby became cranky and my sleep time was cut short. But my husband didn't care. I can't do this anymore. I need to do something about the food at least. Half delirious, I contacted my mother-in-law, who's a farmer. Mother, please help me. What's wrong? What happened? I would like you to send me some rice. Huh? What do you mean? Until then, my husband had sent very little in the way of groceries from his parents because he didn't want to owe them anything. But I was at my wit's end. I told my mother-in-law what had happened so far, including that. I was told by my son that you were so particular that you wouldn't eat it even if I sent it to you. That's why I didn't send anything. I never said that. I guess it was something my husband was doing to keep me from being spoiled. No longer a thrifty man, my husband had become a cheapskate who only monitored his wife. I'll get the rice to you right away. And that evening, my mother-in-law came to our house with as much rice and vegetables as she could pack in her car. Here you go. Now put this in the car and go home to your parents. Huh? But then the house. When I got a phone call the other day, my son asked me how much we spend on food. I answered 20,000 yen a month, and that was my fault. I never thought this would happen. I'm really sorry, Hanayo. I'm a farmer, so it's only natural that I'm self-sufficient in rice and vegetables, and the cost of living is cheap. Why can't my son who grew up in my house understand that? I thought so too. He brushed it off as all excuses. I'm going to have to give him a hard time for this. Leave the rest to me. Go home to your parents and relax. When that idiot is sorry, I'll drag him over there. Taking my mother-in-law's reliable word for it, I packed up the rice and vegetables I had received that day and headed back to my parents' house again. My mother-in-law said I could tell my parents what was going on, so I told my concerned father and mother about my husband's behavior and our finances. But when they saw me in a disheveled state, they quickly became angry. 10,000 yen a month for food? That's messed up! Do you live on haze every day?
Women are responsible for all the money for the child? That's ridiculous!
My mother-in-law is going to talk to Itetsu about it. So, can I stay here for a while? Of course!
I'm not letting you leave until that man is sorry!
That day, I ate my first full meal in a long time. The vegetables my mother-in-law gave me were so fresh and really tasty. My milk supply improved so much, and my baby seemed happy. The next day, my mother-in-law called me to say she would visit me in a month. What on earth are they doing? I had my doubts, but anyway, my most important thing right now was to regain my strength and my children. So I put my husband out of my mind and had a stress-free and healthy time. However, 2 weeks later...
I'm so sorry!
Honey? He's already given up. So pathetic.
How hard you've worked all this time! I didn't understand anything! I can't do this anymore! It's too painful! Please, come back!
I asked my mother-in-law, who shrugged her shoulders, what happened. 2 weeks ago.
I'm home! I can't smell any food. Hey, are you cleaning up properly? Your hair is on the floor!
If you care so much, why don't you cook your own meals and clean up after yourself?
Whoa!
Welcome home.
Mom, what are you doing in our house? Where's Hanayo?
She's gone home to her parents.
What?
I heard you were putting all the housework on her, who was already having a hard time raising a child. And on top of that, you only gave her 10,000 yen a month for food?
'Cause you said it was 20,000 yen a month for the four of you.
Well, why don't you try it then? Give me your wallet.
Huh?
It's the beginning of a 10,000 yen a month lifestyle. Of course, mine included.
Huh? What?
You told Hanayo to do it. You can do it too, right? Don't worry, I'll take care of the housework. So my husband has been cooking by himself for a while. In order to keep my expenses down, I had to go to various supermarkets and buy the cheapest ingredients from each one, and then use my own savings to make ends meet. My husband, however, had no idea which supermarket had the cheapest prices, so he said it was a time saver and he got it all at one supermarket. For the first week, he bought vegetables and meat and made stir-fries and other dishes. But as it became harder and harder to balance work and family, he gradually began to rely on instant and frozen foods. But each time that happens... Oh, microwave food again? Hanayo was thinking of your health. I heard she made you food every day. Make you food instead? Can't manage your work? Are you stupid? Hanayo was both working on meal duty before she got pregnant. She was taking care of you while she was raising your child. Remember? Why don't you at least take care of your own meals? The husband's mother continued to be sarcastic with him, and after 2 weeks of living on 10,000 yen for a month, which was originally planned to last a month, the husband reached his limit both financially and emotionally. Do you understand how hard it was for me?
Yes, of course.
How did you come to be so reckless?
Actually, I'm not doing so well at work. I had to act like a man at home to keep my pride.
You're just taking it out on her. So pathetic.
I'm sorry.
This child is yours and mine. I want to raise our child properly together.
Okay.
I'm sorry I didn't notice about your work. I'll try to listen to you from now on, so don't hold it in and talk to me, okay?
Hanayo, will you forgive me?
Are you sure, Hanayo, that you want to be so lenient? He might do it again. If that happens, I'll leave him with you again. Okay, I'll be in charge.
Give me a break, Mom!
Now that I knew the reason, and my husband seemed sincerely sorry, I decided to forgive him this time. From then on, my husband was responsible for living expenses until I returned to work, and I got 70,000 yen a month for food. The reason why the amount of money from him is a little high is because my mother-in-law advised him to let me use the extra money as an allowance for my hard work. I thought my husband would be disgusted, but he rather agreed that refreshment is important for childcare. And I laughed a little, thinking that he must have been really scared of my mother-in-law. He is now helping me with the housework as before, and life is so much more comfortable. Now that the house is settled, apparently my husband's business had started to turn around as well. It was a case that made me realize how important it is to have a happy family. I'll try my best to be a mother with a heart of gold like my mother-in-law.
Yo, my name is Ataru Yamamoto. I'm 16 and currently in high school. People think I don't have any worries because I live in a happy family with a lot of friends. Truth be told, I have one giant problem right now. It's about my big bro who's 2 years older than me. I'm back home. Summer vacation starts today. Bro, how's your grade in school? Show me your report card. It's none of your business, man. Ha 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 ha. Your grades suck. That's what you get for going to a prestigious school. Just because you got into a good school doesn't mean you automatically become smart. At this rate, you won't get into any college. Shut up! Unlike your high school, we actually have smart people. I'm a genius, so I don't have to actually try in school. That's why I chose a school closer to home. More so, I have ranked the best student in all of high school. Don't compare yourself to me. My brother was always the smarter one of the two. However, it all changed one day. Damn! I can't believe it! That college is going to regret not accepting me. I won't go there even if they begged me. His only success was at a second-rate high school, and ultimately failed the entrance exam for college 2 years in a row. After how he treated me, I don't feel bad at all. After 2 years, it was my turn to start preparing for college. Whatever. I'll just go to a public university and dominate there. I'm a genius after all. So, where are you going to apply? What do you care? I bet you're too stupid to get into a normal university. Just don't embarrass me with your Mickey Mouse degree. He's so annoying. How could he be so confident even after failing 2 years in a row? Papa! Mama! I got in!
Really?
I'm so proud of you, son. You were working so hard day and night.
Man, what are you guys so excited? I was in the middle of my sleep.
Ataru was just accepted by the university.
Huh? Oh, I bet it was some Mickey Mouse University. Tokyo University. Tokyo University? Yep, the same one that rejected you last year.
That's my boy. You're our family's pride.
They were discriminating me for my age. I would have gotten in if I was younger. There's no way a genius like me would lose to a dummy like you. All in all, we both eventually got accepted into university and lived happily ever after. Well, not quite. It was about a month after we got accepted. I'm back. Huh? Why are you back so early? Everyone was so dumb for a genius like me. Also, there's no way any sane person could live in a countryside like that. That's why I'm quitting college. It's only been a month since you got in. Shut up. A peasant like you have no right to talk back to me.
Are you okay?
Damn it. I had to once again deal with my big brother. Not to mention, he became more insufferable than ever.
I can't give you this.
Shut up and give me the money. You only have 30,000 yen? That's so little.
Please. I was saving that up for Ataru's birthday present.
He doesn't deserve a birthday present. It's better to just give me the money before you spend it on someone as useless as him.
Sorry, Ataru.
Mama, it's fine if you don't buy me anything. Don't worry about it.
Oh, he's doing it again.
Mayuko! Oh, Mayuko! Domestic violence became the name of the game. He would take money from our parents without their permission and be an overall nuisance to the family. Even though he dropped out of college, he didn't even try to look for a job. He would constantly stay inside his room and watch idol videos all day long. It has been 4 years since he started this lifestyle as a NEET. Not in education, employment, or training. After graduating, I was able to land a cushy job at Gogol and was engaged to my girlfriend. I was ready to tell my parents about the good news.
Yo, I'm Chariko. I'm so in love with my darling.
Wow, I mean, you're very energetic and cute.
Right? I'm so proud of her.
Well, if you're happy, then we're happy, right?
Yeah.
At first, my parents were skeptical, but before I even knew, they hit it off with each other.
Ataru's papa! You got some mad vibes.
You younglings don't even know how hard I can dance.
You sound so old. Hey, where's the bathroom at?
It's on the left side of the corridor.
Okay.
Wait, what's that sound?
Oopsie. I accidentally tore down one of the posters on the wall. Was this something important?
Hey, old hag, give me 20,000 yen. Wait, who the hell tore down my Mayuko poster?
Oopsie. That was my bee.
Who the hell are you? I won't forget this.
I'm Ataru's boo. Or girlfriend. Nice to meet you. Ugh. Are you okay? Apologize for what you have done.
I'm not in the wrong here. She tore down my Mayuko poster. She got off easy.
What do you mean?
You! How dare you lay a finger on her? Chill, bro. Stop getting riled up just because you have a fiancé. Do you know why I never talk back to you? It's not because I'm afraid of you. It's because you're too stupid to even talk to. I'm too embarrassed to even talk to you. That's how much I hate you. How are you that dumb? How dare you talk back to a genius like me? What do you mean, genius? You're as dumb as a frog, man. I'm out there making millions while you sit on your lazy butt all day long. I couldn't care less what you say to me. So just shut up like the NEET you are.
Darling, I'm fine. Let's just resume dinner.
The situation was able to de-escalate thanks to Charako, but there was no way I was going to let it all go. After the incident, me and my parents were at wit's end with my brother, so we got together and came up with a plan. So this is how it's gonna go. During the concert, we're going to move, and then...
I see.
That might be our only option left.
The plan was set to the day of the Idol's live concert. Mayuko! Mayuko! Okay, he left the house. Our plan is set in motion. The king's back. Wait, what? What's going on? What the heck is going on? All my posters! It's all gone! It even had signatures with it! Even the one that's no longer in sale! What the? Who did this? Mom! Dad! Ataru! Show yourselves! I'm going to beat all of you up! It's been 3 hours since he started his tantrum. He should be tired by now.
Did you calm down?
You...
This house is going to be demolished by tomorrow.
What? How dare you? How dare you treat your son like that? Isn't it your sworn duty to support your child? This is why I hate stupid people like you.
It's true that it's my duty to protect and take care of our child. However, you are no longer a child. From now on, you have to take care of yourself.
This is child abandonment. It's neglect.
Vent out as much as you want. We will no longer pamper you anymore. We are going to move out tomorrow, but you won't be anywhere in our new house. Goodbye.
All right, let's go to our new house.
I'm so excited.
Are you fine with such a big gift? I mean, the new house had to cost a fortune.
Don't worry about it. My new job pays me top dollars, and Charako wanted this for you guys.
Thank you. Let's go.
Please, wait for me. Please, take me to your new house. I'm begging you with all my heart. No way. The new house is bought under my name, and if you ever come close to it, I will call the police. Please, aren't we family? Aren't we supposed to support each other? How dare you even talk about family when you punch my fiancé in the face? Well, that was because I was full of adrenaline and... I don't care! I will never forgive you for what you have done! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I will never do it again. I'll apologize to Charako too. Why would I ever believe you anymore? We were going back and forth for 2 hours straight.
Fine. This is your last chance.
Papa, you're too nice to him.
Thank you so much. I'm going to change starting from today. They're so dumb. They would believe anything I say.
He's fast asleep.
He's tired from the concert and his tantrum.
Yep. What?
Are you awake yet?
Who are you? Where's everyone?
They left you here.
What?
They told me to train you from the ground up. From now on, you will be living here at the temple.
Why would I ever do that?
Do you have anywhere else to go?
I don't know where my family lives anymore.
They told me if you were to change for the better, they would accept you back into the family.
Damn it. How dare they?
Wait a minute. I can just act like I'm listening to the teachings and just play around. This is going to be a piece of cake.
Contrary to what my brother thought, he was put into one of the strictest temples in Japan.
It's 4 a.m. Wake up!
It's still 4 a.m. Why did you wake me up this early? Okay.
Next.
It's okay. Just be patient. After a few days, they would have to pick me up. After all, they're all dumb.
Do that.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm dead serious. Now hurry up.
Why do I have to do this? Meanwhile, I was able to get married to Charako.
Darling, take care.
You guys are going out too?
Yep. We're going to play gate ball together.
We moved in as neighbors. So why was my brother in the temple? This was our plan all along. There was no way my brother would change his mind so easily. But I am eventually going to pick him up. Maybe after 10 or even 20 years. Damn it!
My name is Miki Fukudome. I'm a 20-year-old college student. In this issue, I present a painful story of defeating crazy parents. I have a younger sister named Miho, who is only in the 3rd grade. We're 11 years apart. She's the apple of my eyes, and I love her so much. We're the closest sisters in the neighborhood. But one day, when my sister came home from school... Oh, welcome home! I have snacks so we can eat together. Oh, what's wrong? My sister was crying. I soon found out why. After all, My sister's school bag was covered with graffiti that was so ugly to look at. Anyway, I quieted my sister who was crying, and after she calmed down, I talked to her. Here's how it all started. There was a girl in her class who was ignored by everyone. The reason for this was vague, and it seems like it just sort of happened. My sister, who felt sorry for her, talked to her proactively and took care of her in any way she could. But that seems to have gotten the attention of the girl who was the main bully. Thus, my sister was made the target of bullying. Not only was she ignored, but the contents of her pencil box were destroyed, her notebooks and textbooks were scribbled on, and to top it all off, her school bag was ruined. It's a common story, but I can't believe it happened to my own sister. My sister was completely terrified of school and couldn't go from the next day. Of course, I'm not going to leave it at that. I consulted my mother, Kaho, and decided to appeal to the school. But how was it? Well, it wasn't good enough. What do you mean not good enough? Miho's school bag was ruined, remember? And on top of that, they wrote ugly and and stuff. That's just plain bullying. Calm down. I'll explain it to you right now. Sorry, go ahead. I went to the school and spoke with our homeroom teacher, Mr. Inagi, and the vice principal. I told them the whole story. Then, first, Mr. Inagi said he thought that was a bit much, but he also said it's too early to label it bullying. What? If this isn't bullying, then what is it? Of course, I didn't back down. The vice principal said he'll investigate this incident. He said we'll deal with it after we get the results. We don't have time for that. By the way, what's the investigation? They're going to survey the students. If there's an answer that Miho is being bullied, after that, the parents will discuss it with each other. When is the survey? He said as soon as it's ready. I can't believe they haven't even set a specific date. I don't think we can count on them at all. I told them to deal with it as soon as possible. Listening to you, it sounds like they have some kind of bureaucratic structure. Maybe they'll be vague if you leave them alone. No way. That's not going to happen. You can never say never. Besides, even if the survey's administered, that's not the end of the story. I'm not going to give up. Thus, I decided to ask the school for a quick response. The method was quite simple. I just called the school almost every day. When will this investigation, or whatever it's called, take place?
Well, it will take place shortly, so...
I'm asking for a specific date. I was uncomfortable because I felt like a vicious complainer, but I couldn't give in. Thanks to my urging, a survey was conducted, and it seems that several people in Miho's class expressed the opinion that there had been bullying, even leading a discussion among the parents. And on the day of the discussion, I had to stay home and take care of Miho, so my mother went alone. But I'm home. What's wrong this time? My mother came home with a look of utter exhaustion on her face. My mother told me the details of that discussion, and it was disastrous. My mother, my homeroom teacher, and the parents of the 3 girls who were alleged to be the ringleaders of the bullying gathered in a room at the school. The first to speak was Ms. Yamada, the mother of the female student who's the leader of the group, estimated to be in her 40s with a madam-like appearance. There is no way my child would bully anyone. It's a conspiracy by the students who are jealous of my child because she's so bright and pretty. She was a doting parent type and never admitted fault. Ms. Tanaka was the next to speak, estimated to be in her 30s with speckled blonde hair. She herself was a former school bully. I mean, it's just kids fighting, right? Why did I have to come all the way here? Apathetic and uncooperative type. Again, she won't admit fault either. The last person is Ms. Sato, estimated to be in her 50s, slightly overweight with a scrappy motherly appearance. Young people these days are so over the top. Stress will make you fat like me. Just joking. The type that doesn't understand the gravity of the situation and won't admit fault either. My daughter's school bag was a terrible mess. It's nothing but bullying. My mother, of course, tried to pursue it. My child said she didn't do it. What are you getting mad about? You're so annoying. You'll get wrinkles if you get so angry.
Thus, the conversation never progressed. The homeroom teacher, Mr. Inagi, tried to move the conversation along.
Well, according to the survey, several students testified that Miss Yamada was involved, so...
Of course, those kids are lying. How can you call yourself a teacher if you don't know that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
He succumbed mainly under the pressure of Ms. Yamada, and he wasn't at all a force to be reckoned with. In the end, nothing was resolved, and the story was carried over to the next time. My mother has fought so hard in this hellish situation. Of course she would run out of spirit. But by the looks of it, it's clear that the next round will be similar. So, I resorted to our family's ultimate weapon, my father, Shozo, who is in rural Japan on an extended business trip. I know he's busy with work, but he's the only one who can turn this situation around. Dad, it's about Miho.
Yeah, your mother told me all about it. I heard they had a discussion today. How did it go?
That's exactly what I want to talk about. Apparently, all three of them never admit fault. She also said the teacher seemed unreliable.
I see.
In the end, the conversation didn't proceed and was carried over to the next meeting, but I don't think we'll see progress next time. So, I was wondering if I could borrow some of your wisdom.
That's one thing, but I have a better way. I'll be there for that discussion or whatever it's called.
Is that okay? I thought you were still planning to stay there for a while.
I finished it with gusto. It's a big deal for Miho, so of course. I'll be back tomorrow.
That's great. Well then, please.
I'm trying to sort out the situation, so tell me what's going on. First, how did the school identify the bullying and its perpetrators?
Looks like they took an anonymous survey in class. So the other students named the kids in the group who were bullying.
I see. So how did the parents react?
One of them was all about how her daughter would never do such a thing. The other was indifferent and uncooperative. The last person didn't think they did anything wrong.
Okay.
I have a favor to ask you.
What is it?
Please go all out! And on the day of the meeting, my father attended the discussion with my mother. The three who had been so flustered were said to have been blatantly frightened. That's because my father was 190 centimeters tall, originally from the judo club, so he had a good physique, and above all, he was so strong that his peers feared him as a monster.
First of all, let me say that this is a discussion of a serious topic, bullying. Please understand that this is not a place to be lax or make silly jokes.
He promptly checked in with Ms. Tanaka and Ms. Sato. The quiet but non-committal tone of his voice made the two flinch. But Ms. Yamada was upset, but persisted.
I'll say it again. My child didn't do it. She just got trapped in an ugly jealousy.
It was a quandary in a way, that she didn't blink under the circumstances. But my father calmly responded.
Well, several students have mentioned your daughter's name. Are you saying that all those children are telling the same lie?
When he showed that it was an unreasonable claim, Ms. Yamada flinched. While this was happening, my father unleashed a follow-up attack.
To tell you the truth, I attended this meeting because I wanted to share something with you. All of you will be charged for damages to property and emotional distress, as well as compensation.
For what it's worth, my father is a lawyer. People call him the monster that lives in the courtroom. In reality, he's a lawyer like a hero of courtroom dramas who fights for the socially disadvantaged. I admire my father like that, and I'm studying law in college. So, I asked my father for help, with a view to bringing a civil lawsuit. My father's bombshell upset all three of them.
You don't have to file a lawsuit. Yeah, it's just kids fighting, right?
You're overreacting.
The ruined school bag and textbooks are personal belongings, and my daughter has suffered so much mental anguish that she's had to go to a mental health clinic because of this incident. I think we have enough grounds to sue.
To begin with, bullying is taken lightly because of the image of it as an altercation between children. In fact, what the bullying perpetrator does is an act that deserves to be sued. The teacher didn't expect it to be this big of a deal, and he couldn't hide his upset.
Please calm down. Let's keep it civil.
But the monster that lives in the courtroom showed no mercy.
By the way, I see that there are some problems with the school's handling of the situation. I intend to sue for breach of duty of care.
He informed the parents as well as the school of the lawsuit.
Thus, this one incident caused more of a stir than anyone could have anticipated. Naturally, word got around among other parents. Basically, it's an exchange between adults, but if it gets this big, the kids will know what's going on to some extent. The bully, a female student, was on the hook for the accusations and stares from her classmates. As a result, they either stopped attending school or changed schools, not to mention that the parents in the school were actually charged for damages and fees. I'm sure there's a lot of fraying going on in each of the households as well. Miho, on the other hand, is slowly but surely regaining her energy. Whether to return her to that school is a touchy subject, but that's something we'll have to think long and hard about. My name is Nanonomaru. I'm currently 25 years old. Today, I would like to tell you a story about my childhood. I'm actually allergic to dairy. Ever since I was little, I couldn't drink or consume anything that had dairy in it. My family found out about my dairy allergy when I was only 1 year old. It was when my mom spoon-fed me milk, and as soon as I drank the milk, I started vomiting like crazy. I started turning red and started developing spots on my face. My mom called an ambulance immediately, and I was taken to the hospital. After taking a blood test, they found out I was allergic to dairy. According to my mother, before the incident, I was totally fine with drinking milk, so she was very shocked to hear about the news. Ever since then, I realized that breast milk from a cow was different from a human. As many of you might have expected already, a typical meal at school includes a milk carton. It was no different at my elementary school. Therefore, my mother told the teachers to never give me any dairy products. Every time I moved up a grade, my mother would inform my new teacher about my condition, showing them my doctor's note. My daughter is allergic to dairy product, so please refrain from giving her any milk, or else she might become asphyxiated. Please understand that this is not a matter of her likes and dislikes. She was very cautious about my condition. Because of her, my teachers were very understanding of my situation, and I was able to leave out dairy products from my diet. However, when I was in the 5th grade, even talking about it gives me slight trauma. It was during the spring season. I was able to meet new friends and was overall having a blast being the oldest grade in elementary school. My teacher at the time had to go on maternity leave after having a new baby. Because of her maternity leave, I was introduced to our new substitute teacher, Mrs. Yabatani. I believe she was in her 50s. Maybe it was because of her age, but she had no understanding of allergies. Then came lunchtime. Phew, I can eat everything except the milk. After checking the lunch, I took the milk carton to give it to my teacher. Due to constraints in the lunch schedule, there was no time to check on everyone's allergies. So whenever a student with allergies has something in their lunch, it was their responsibility to bring the food to a box. The food in the box was then given to others who wanted extra. Because I had permission from a doctor, no one would say anything if I returned the milk. However, it was a different story with Mrs. Yabatani. Hey, Mrs., why aren't you drinking that?
It's because I can't. I guess she wasn't notified by the other teacher. I'm allergic to milk, so I was told not to drink milk.
I know.
What? Then why did she ask?
I'm saying, why aren't you trying to drink it?
It's because I was told not to drink it. Would you drink a bottle that was labeled danger? That's basically my situation with milk. My mom told me that I would asphyxiate if I drank that.
That's just the worst case scenario. It doesn't happen often. It's not like you're being stung by a bee.
But my doctor told me I can't.
Do you think I'll just bow down if you bring up the doctor? Stop blaming others and drink it. She would continuously berate me in front of the class, even though I was in the right. That day, I told my mom about everything that happened during lunchtime. She was furious. She immediately called the school. The school told me they were going to talk to Mrs. Yabatani. Don't worry about it too much.
Thank you, Mom.
If anything ever happens, tell me.
Okay.
The next day, when I arrived at school, the vice principal stopped me by the hallways. He told me that they already informed Mrs. Yabatani about my allergy prior to teaching the classes, but she was too old school to understand the severity of allergies.
I guess she's just hard-headed.
The next day, when I arrived in class, Mrs. Yabatani was staring at me. I could just tell she was furious at me for telling on her.
I'm so scared. I didn't do anything wrong.
The classes in elementary schools often have the same teacher for all the subjects. That day, Mrs. Yabatani singled me out constantly, trying to embarrass me more in front of my friends. She would pick difficult questions on purpose to make me look like a fool. "You're so dumb. You're going to make our class's average grade lower." She was non-stop on her goal to harass me. During home economics class, "Okay, class, today we're going to learn about nutrition and foods." Originally, we were supposed to pick up where we left off last week, but she suddenly changed our topic for the class. It was obvious she was doing this to harass me. "We are made out of the things we eat, such as meat, fish, and even vegetables. However, there is one food that is vital to all humans. It's milk. Raise your hand if you like milk."
Me!
You kids are all great, excluding one. I felt awful knowing that she was going out of her way to make me feel miserable. Milk houses a lot of important nutrients that are needed for us to live a healthy life. One of the more notable nutrients is calcium. Once she was done explaining the importance of milk, she said, "I have a pop quiz for you kids. Eating a steak doesn't make you a cow. Eating sushi doesn't make you a fish. Why is that?"
We process food inside our bodies.
That's correct. We are able to break down the food and absorb the nutrients. However, there are some people that lack the ability to do so, making them unable to break down such foods. Do you know what we call them? Nobody knew the answer to her question. Even I didn't know the answer to the question. With a grin on her face, she said something that I couldn't believe. "The answer is defective."
Defective?
Those who are unable to break down food are born with a defection, making them unable to live normally. Therefore, they are a defective human. I was so shocked that I couldn't pay attention for the rest of the class. It wasn't my fault that I was unable to drink milk. Defective. She's horrible. That day, lunchtime was hell for me. The boys teased me for being defective, and I was unable to bring the milk to the box. Then, my longtime friend Miyu came to me and said,
Nano, let's bring the milk to the box together.
But,
It's not your fault you can't drink milk. I'm also allergic to crustaceans.
I saw that our soup for the day included prawns.
I'm scared to go alone. Let's go together.
Miyu was another girl that was hurt by our teacher's explanation of defective people.
Okay, I can't believe we're being treated this way.
I brought my milk carton and the cheese to the box together with Miyu. Ms. Nomaru, and you too, Ms. Miyu. Didn't you listen to today's class?
But we really can't eat these. It's true. I'm not allowed to eat shrimp.
The boys in class saw this moment as a chance to make fun of us and started singing.
Defective, defective. These two are defective.
Mrs. Yabatani acted like she was reprimanding the boys, but it was obvious she was enjoying the scene. Why don't you two at least try to eat it? Maybe you two are lying about the allergy. You don't want to be defective your whole life, right?
But defective.
When I looked at Miyu, I saw that she was clearly in distress. She was about to drink the soup. No! Don't do it! I suddenly grabbed Miyu by the wrist, making her spill the soup. When I saw her avoid the soup, I realized how scared she was of her allergy. Not only are you defective, but you even lack common sense. The whole class joined in on teasing us, which lasted the whole lunch. As I felt cornered by everyone, I looked towards the carton of milk and the slice of cheese in my hand. My mom told me not to drink milk, but maybe I'm able to eat cheese without a problem. As your punishment, you have to eat everything on your plate. Okay. I picked up the cheese and brought it in front of my face. What if something happens to me? Oh, I'm so scared. Mommy! Nano, no! Miyu tried to stop me, but... Eat it! Huh? Mrs. Yabatani took my hands and forced me to eat the cheese. The cheese went straight through my mouth into my throat. Then... What? Nano! Why did you suddenly vomit? That's so disgusting! Don't you see? She's having an allergic reaction. But it was just one slice of cheese. Even if it's fine for everyone else, it's poisonous for us. Someone, go and get a teacher. It's so itchy. I can't breathe. My whole body started to itch, and before I can say another word, I became unconscious. Nano, no! When I woke up, I was at the hospital. Nano, thank God you're okay. After I became unconscious, one of the girls in class called another teacher, and I was safely brought to the hospital. I heard Mrs. Yabatani was in panic and was overall useless. There were some boys in the classroom that said it wasn't my fault and started to panic amongst themselves. It was total chaos in the classroom. After the incident, the principals and other teachers came to visit me to apologize for what has happened. The whole incident became known throughout the school, especially to the parents of kids who have allergies.
Miss Yabatani, what have you done?
I was just trying to cure her allergies.
You're not a doctor! You're just a substitute teacher!
But I thought I could help her.
Even the part about calling her defective?
That's just the kids.
I don't want to hear your excuses. If you really want to talk about it, why don't you explain that to the parents?
Please, I'll stop. After the incident, the Board of Education voted unanimously to fire Mrs. Yabatani. Furthermore, my parents were so furious at her that she reported Mrs. Yabatani to the police, saying she forced me to eat something that I was allergic to. After talking to the police, they were able to launch an investigation on her. She told me she hoped this incident will let everyone in town realize the severity of allergies and treat others accordingly. Nano, I'm so glad you're okay. I'm so sorry. I tried to save you, but it's not your fault. Sorry for making you worried. Ever since then, Miyu and I stuck together wherever we went. By the way, the boys in the class were all reprimanded by their parents for making the situation worse. They all came to my doorstep to apologize, so I decided to forgive them. There are people around the world that try to force their ideals onto you. But it's important to protect yourself from these people, especially when it comes to allergies. The whole thing made me realize to never become someone like Mrs. Yabatani.